Negotiation is an essential part of everyday life, whether you're closing a business deal or trying to persuade your child to go to bed on time. However, negotiating successfully requires a certain set of skills that not everyone possesses. Fortunately, Chris Voss's book, Never Split the Difference, offers practical advice on how to become a skilled negotiator and achieve your desired outcomes. Drawing on his extensive experience as an FBI lead kidnapping negotiator, Chris Voss shares the techniques and strategies he used to resolve high-stakes situations and save lives. He also translates these strategies into everyday situations, providing tips for negotiating salary, buying a car, and dealing with difficult people. One of the key principles of the book is the importance of active listening. By truly understanding the other person's perspective and emotions, you can build trust and find common ground to reach an agreement that benefits both parties. Chris also emphasizes the power of calibrated questions, which can help you gather information and steer the conversation in your favor. Another critical aspect of successful negotiation is the ability to manage emotions, both your own and the other person's. Chris shows how to use empathy to connect with the other person's feelings and diffuse tense situations. He also emphasizes the importance of using tactical empathy, where you intentionally mirror the other person's emotions to build rapport and trust. Overall, Never Split the Difference offers a comprehensive guide to mastering negotiation in all aspects of life. With practical advice and real-world examples, Chris Voss teaches you how to communicate effectively, build trust, and achieve your desired outcomes without ever compromising. By applying the techniques in this book, you can become a skilled negotiator and get what you want in both your personal and professional life. Idea 1. Negotiating in daily life. The power of framing and understanding the human brain. Negotiating is not just for business deals but is an essential part of daily life. Understanding how the human brain operates can give you the power to frame a situation and achieve the desired result. The first step to becoming an effective negotiator is acknowledging that everyone has an animalistic urge of "I want" and can operate solely on emotion, throwing away rational thought. Traditional negotiating techniques often assume that people can overcome this raw emotion, but this is not the case. We are unconsciously irrational due to cognitive biases that affect our thinking. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman discovered that the brain has two systems of thinking. The fast-thinking, instinctual mind deals with emotions, while the slow, logical, and rational process is the second system. However, the first system is far more influential and can affect the rational part when it eventually kicks in. Therefore, it is essential to accept the human condition that our brains drive us in irrational ways. The framing effect is a powerful cognitive bias that affects how people think. People react depending on how the situation is framed, making it crucial to create the right context surrounding something to get the desired reaction. For instance, negotiating with a toddler can be challenging as they are emotional and irrational. By framing a situation in a positive way, you can get the outcome you desire, just like negotiating with toddler Penny to put back the toy in exchange for money to buy ice cream with a friend later. In conclusion, negotiation is an essential part of daily life, and understanding how the human brain operates can help you become a more effective negotiator. Accepting that humans are emotional and irrational beings and mastering the power of framing can give you an advantage in achieving desired outcomes in everyday situations. Idea 2. The power of "no" in negotiations. Turning a dead end into a goldmine. Hearing the word "no" can be disheartening, especially in negotiations where it feels like a rejection of your ideas and efforts. However, according to negotiation expert Voss, "no" can actually be the key to unlocking successful negotiations. When your counterpart says "no," it indicates that they are not yet comfortable with what you have proposed and that there is more work to be done to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. Furthermore, "yes" too soon can be just as detrimental to negotiations. It can lead to a quick, unsatisfactory resolution and a lack of trust between the parties involved. Saying "no" gives you power and control in the negotiation, even if only temporarily. It allows you to gain more information, build rapport with your counterpart, and think of better solutions. "No" can also have multiple meanings, such as indicating discomfort, a need for more information, or a desire for something else. Therefore, it is crucial to understand the context behind the no and use it to guide the negotiation towards a successful outcome. In conclusion, no does not mean the end of negotiations. Instead, it can be a valuable tool in reaching a mutually beneficial agreement. By reframing our perspective on no, we can turn what feels like a dead end into a goldmine of opportunity. Idea 3. The art of mirroring, a negotiator's secret to building rapport and trust. Effective listening is a crucial skill that every negotiator must master, but it can be challenging to truly listen and understand the other party's perspective. Distractions, biases, and the urge to respond can hinder effective listening, leading to misunderstandings and failed negotiations. However, Chris Voss, a former FBI hostage negotiator, discovered the power of mirroring to build trust and rapport with his counterparts. Mirroring involves matching the other party's body language, speech tempo, word choice, and tone to establish a connection and demonstrate that you are listening and understand their point of view. When the other party feels heard and understood, they are more likely to trust you and feel comfortable enough to share more information. Voss found that by repeating the last 3 words of what the other party said, he could show that he was listening and encourage them to elaborate on their thoughts and feelings. This technique proved effective even in high-pressure situations, such as hostage negotiations. By mirroring the body language and speech patterns of the hostage taker, Voss could keep them talking and gather crucial information that led to successful outcomes. The power of mirroring is not limited to negotiations but can also be applied in everyday situations. Psychologist Richard Wiseman conducted an experiment in which waiters in a busy restaurant were instructed to either use positive reinforcement or the mirroring technique when taking orders from customers. The group that used mirroring earned 70% more in tips than the group that used positive reinforcement, demonstrating the effectiveness of mirroring in building rapport and trust with others. In conclusion, the art of mirroring is a powerful tool that can help negotiators build trust, establish connections, and achieve successful outcomes. By listening actively and mirroring the other party's communication style, negotiators can demonstrate their understanding and build a foundation for productive discussions. Idea 4. Empathy and labeling in negotiation. Mirroring is a powerful technique in negotiation, but it is not the only tool that a successful negotiator needs to have. Empathy and labeling are equally important to build trust and rapport with your opponent. Empathy is the ability to recognize and understand another person's perspective, and it is an essential skill in negotiation. When negotiating, it is crucial to understand your opponent's emotions and what they are feeling. Labeling is a technique that helps you to identify and verbalize those emotions. Labeling involves acknowledging your opponent's emotions without judgment or your own opinions. By doing so, you help to calm your opponent down, create a positive atmosphere, and start an effective negotiation. It is important to avoid using the word "I" while labeling, as this shifts the focus from your opponent's emotions to your own needs. Chris Voss, a renowned negotiator, used labeling effectively during a negotiation with 4 prison fugitives who were hiding in a Harlem apartment. He acknowledged their fear of going back to prison and the potential harm they could face if they opened the apartment door. He sat with them for 6 hours, listening and acknowledging their emotions, and eventually, they surrendered peacefully. In summary, mirroring, empathy, and labeling are all essential skills that a negotiator needs to master. While mirroring helps to build rapport, empathy and labeling help to create a positive atmosphere, understand the opponent's emotions, and achieve a successful negotiation. By incorporating these skills into your negotiation strategy, you can become a more effective and successful negotiator. Idea 5. The power of "that's right." How to convert rapport into influence in negotiations. Negotiating is not just about building rapport through empathy and mirroring, but also about converting that rapport into influence to achieve the desired outcome. While hearing the word "yes" from your opponent may seem like a victory, it's not the most powerful phrase you can hear. The phrase "that's right" holds the key to unlocking influence and guiding your opponent to agree to your terms. However, it's important not to confuse "that's right" with "you're right." While the latter simply acknowledges the other person's statement, The former implies that the person has had an epiphany, recognizing that you have empathized with them without judgment. To elicit this powerful phrase, start by using labeling to identify your opponent's emotions, then paraphrase their position to create a summary that is either correct or not. Your opponent will either say, "No," or nod their head and say, "That's right." Once you hear that phrase, you hold the power to further guide your opponent's thinking and secure the deal you want. In summary, building rapport through empathy and mirroring is important in negotiations, but it's not enough to secure a favorable outcome. Converting that rapport into influence by eliciting the phrase, "That's right," can be a game changer in negotiations. Idea 6. The power of open-ended questions in negotiation. In any negotiation, the type of questions you ask can greatly impact the outcome. While yes, no questions may seem like an easy way to get a quick answer, they are not effective for building rapport or reaching a mutually beneficial agreement. Open-ended questions, on the other hand, encourage engagement and allow both parties to actively participate in the negotiation process. Calibrated questions are an effective tool for keeping the conversation focused and getting the opponent to speak up. They force the opponent to think and provide more detailed answers, which can lead to better understanding and cooperation. By using open-ended questions, you can create a more collaborative environment, build trust, and establish a connection with your opponent. One example of the power of open-ended questions comes from a hostage situation that occurred in 2001 in Manila. The U.S. forces were unable to communicate effectively with the rebel leaders and the situation ended in disaster. Voss, a negotiation expert, reflects on their strategy and realizes that if they had used calibrated questions instead of focusing on retaliation, they may have been able to approach the situation with collaboration and cooperation in mind. In a sales situation, asking open-ended questions can help you build rapport with the customer, understand their needs and preferences, and increase your chances of making a sale. Rather than bombarding the customer with yes, no questions, ask questions that engage the customer and encourage them to share their thoughts and feelings. By doing so, you can establish a connection and create a more personalized shopping experience. In conclusion, using open-ended questions and calibrated questions can greatly enhance the negotiation process. They allow for better understanding, collaboration, and cooperation between both parties, ultimately leading to a more favorable outcome. Idea 7. Understanding your opponent's style. Negotiation is a skill that can be developed and improved over time. One important aspect of negotiating is understanding your opponent's negotiation style. By understanding their style, you can tailor your approach to meet their needs, which will ultimately help you achieve your goals. To begin, it's important to avoid treating others the way you want to be treated in a negotiation. Instead, focus on treating others the way they want to be treated. This means getting to know your opponent and their negotiation style. Once you understand their style, you can use it to your advantage and drive the best bargain. A powerful technique to understand your opponent's negotiation style is to begin with extreme anchors. This means starting with an outrageous price that you know your opponent will never accept. By doing this, you can gauge their negotiation style and determine what approach will work best. There are three main negotiation styles: accommodators, assertive, and analysts. Accommodators are focused on building relationships and are seeking a win-win situation. They enjoy talking and exchanging information, and their silence can be a sign of frustration. Assertive negotiators believe that time is money, and they focus on getting things done. They value respect and need to be heard, and their silence can be a sign of agreement. Analysts are methodical and take their time to get things right. They dislike surprises and are skeptical, and they value silence as a time to think. It's important to note that you can't force your negotiation style onto your opponent. Instead, take the time to study them and anticipate their next move. By doing this, you can tailor your approach to meet their needs and drive the best bargain possible. Remember, negotiation is an art, and with practice and preparation, anyone can become a skilled negotiator. Idea 8. The importance of identifying black swans in negotiation. The term, black swans, refers to unforeseen and unexpected events or information that can significantly impact a negotiation. These events can be detrimental to the success of a negotiation if not properly identified and handled. The case of William Griffin's hostage-taking illustrates the importance of identifying black swans in a negotiation. To identify black swans, it is necessary to look at the negotiation from the opponent's perspective. It requires understanding their worldview, religion, and other key factors that influence their decision-making. By doing so, negotiators can anticipate unexpected requests or information that may arise during the negotiation process. The ability to identify black swans gives negotiators an advantage in a negotiation. It enables them to leverage this information to their benefit, putting themselves in a position of power. By knowing more than their opponent expects, negotiators can negotiate more effectively and achieve a successful outcome. In summary, identifying black swans is essential in any negotiation. It requires taking the time to understand the opponent's perspective and anticipating unexpected events or information that may arise during the negotiation. By doing so, negotiators can leverage this information to their advantage, putting themselves in a position of power and achieving a successful outcome. Idea 9. The power of deadlines and fairness in negotiations. Have you ever left a negotiation feeling unhappy with the outcome? It's possible that you compromised more than you intended or felt rushed to make a decision. Chris Voss advises against compromising and rushing in negotiations, as they limit your power and lead to unfavorable outcomes. Deadlines are one way to bend reality for your opponent in negotiations. Businesses often use deadlines to make you feel rushed and impulsive, leading you to make decisions that are not in your best interest. However, deadlines are usually subjective and flexible, and Chris advises resisting the urge to give in to their pressure. Instead, use them to your advantage to influence your opponent. Another way to bend reality is by using the concept of fairness. People are more likely to accept a deal if they feel it's fair. For example, studies have shown that if a proposer is given $10 to split between themselves and an acceptor, any offer less than $5 each is usually rejected. If the offer is less than $2, the acceptor may become insulted and turn down the offer altogether. This shows that emotions play a significant role in decision-making. To succeed in negotiations, it's essential to be empathetic and connect with your opponent. Ask questions and make them see your side, but never compromise. Remember, compromising is easy and safe, but it won't help you achieve your dreams. By utilizing deadlines and fairness, you can bend reality to your advantage and negotiate a favorable outcome. Summary: negotiation is an essential skill that plays a vital role in both personal and professional life. With the right tools and techniques, anyone can become a skilled negotiator, achieving successful outcomes in any situation. Chris Voss, a former FBI hostage negotiator, has shared his expert knowledge to help individuals develop their negotiation skills. One of the fundamental principles of negotiation is to stay calm and empathetic. By listening actively to the other person and understanding their views, you can establish trust and rapport. This will enable you to present your ideas more effectively and reach a mutually beneficial agreement. Another critical tool for negotiation is to never compromise. Instead, focus on bending reality in your favor by using deadlines, fairness, and other creative techniques. For instance, deadlines can create a sense of urgency and encourage the other party to make a decision, while the concept of fairness can help to establish a common ground that both parties can agree on. To become a great negotiator, it's crucial to treat both yourself and your counterpart with dignity and respect. By being honest about your needs and limitations, you can create an open and transparent environment that fosters trust and cooperation. Remember, every negotiation is a series of small conflicts that, if managed well, can lead to creative solutions. In conclusion, negotiation is an essential skill that everyone should develop. With the right mindset, tools, and techniques, you can become a successful negotiator in all areas of life. Follow Chris Voss's advice: be empathetic, stay calm, and never compromise. By embracing the conflict and seeking creative solutions, you can achieve your goals and reach new levels of success. Now, thank you for taking the time to watch, and if you found value in this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And in case you want to buy the book, use the link in the description. Trust me, you won't regret it.